Over to the Metro now, Josh. This sounds like a scenario even Brass Eye might have found plausible and tasteless.
Horrible, yeah. Paedophiles are using AI to generate lifelike images of child sexual abuse. So there's a documentary that isn't strangely mentioned in this article. They mentioned the BBC a few times, but I understand the whole purpose of this article is on the back of a BBC documentary into all of this.
Yeah.
And they've covered that people are using... I mean, this is the problem. When new technology comes along, you're just going to get the sickos find a way to exploit it. And there's this software called Stable Diffusion, and they kind of... And these paedophiles...
This is the stuff that generates images that look like album covers or sci-fi novels.
Exactly, but I thought that the AI software was specifically designed that you couldn't make stuff like this. That was my understanding of it. And actually, the point was, there's a village, I think, in Africa, where they they tested the AI and showed them all these horrible images to like teach the AI that this was stuff you shouldn't be making. So I don't know how this works, but they're saying that this is obviously terrible beyond just the evilness of it.
But just to be clear, this is people using a technology... We've all seen the AI-generated images, and a lot of them, say, look like Conan the Barbarian sort of artwork and that sort of thing. That seems to be quite popular. So I can easily imagine how that could then be pushed towards pornography of any kind. You're saying that the programmes, in theory, have been...
told that you shouldn't be able to create sexualised images.
There's a kind of parental lock type thing.
That's the idea on it.
Take these prompts, so you have to find workarounds for these prompts.
I guess so. Yeah. So I don't know. But and so they're all sharing how to do it.
Do we feel? I mean, morally, Nick, let me ask you, because you're quite moral about this sort of thing. Do we feel it's...
As opposed to me being immoral.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you've got your own kids, but Nick is independent. But seriously, do we feel it is as despicable as child pornography, which is to say about as despicable as it gets, or is it even remotely slightly less worrying if a paedophile were to use an AI-generated image to get off on...
It's just as bad. I mean, they say here in the UK a pseudo-image is treated the same as a real image and is illegal to possess, and I think that's completely correct. Yeah. And they're saying it can lead to the abuse of a live child. I think even if it doesn't, it's just as bad, even on its own terms.
And the problem, of course, they're saying is that it makes detection that much more difficult because they can say, oh, no, it's not real, it's just an AI one, and you won't know for sure. But I suspect part of the thrill for them comes from knowing that the child has been genuine. I don't know.
Horrific.
Well, this is... the fact is, almost all communications media over the last 50 years have been partly pushed forward by the pornographic market. VHS was like largely, DVDs. A lot of this stuff has happened in the past, and because people like to find ways of being alone and being private and accessing forbidden material without being reliant on mass media, obviously, and so on.